The basic idea is that a publication notification, a P1 message, is sent by the publisher immediately upon version of record publication to relevant stakeholders in that published article. You can think of an institution in the author's affiliation and research funders who funded the underlying research. If there is a publication funder, that is the one who picks up the applicable publication charges, this is the one who would be the primary recipient of the P1 message. We also support cases where there is no direct publication funder, for instance, in case of non-APC-based models, such as Diamond. This leads to 3 scenarios for the P1 message. First, in the no prior agreement scenario, the P1 message is sent by the publisher to the institution who's picked up the article level charges. The article level charges may have been invoiced to the author or to the institution. That's why you, as the institution who picked up the article level charges, are receiving the P1 no prior agreement message. Second, in the prior agreement scenario, a P1 message is sent by the publisher to the institution affiliated to the relevant author under whose deal the article is charged. The prior agreement may or may not involve the need for financial information on article level. Therefore, there are 2 sub-scenarios: prior agreement without article level charges, prior agreement with article level charges. That is why you, as the institution holding the agreement under which the article is charged, are receiving the P1 message. If the prior agreement is with a consortium that the institution is a member of, the consortium will receive the same P1 prior agreement message via consortia routing. The third scenario is a public information only version of a P1 message. This is a stripped down version of a full P1 message. Information regarding a deal or article level financials are not included, nor are authors' email addresses. Later in this tutorial, we explain why you would receive a P1 PIO message. The first scenario is the P1 in case of no prior agreement. You, as an institution, are receiving the P1 no prior agreement message for the published article concerned if you or an institution, an author from your institution, has picked up the publication charges. You can recognize such a P1 no prior agreement message in the Excel export by a no in the prior agreement column. There's also an indicator for whether it's known that this article is really charged to you, yes, no, or unknown, empty. The actual article level charges may or may not be provided. There are currently 8 publishers who include the article level financial details, and their names can be found on the website. The second scenario is the P1 in case of a prior agreement. You as an institution are receiving the P1 prior agreement message if you hold the agreement under which the article is charged. You can recognize such a P1 prior agreement message in the Excel export by a yes in the prior agreement column. Also, there's the indicator for whether it's known that this article is charged to you, yes, no, or unknown. If available, details on the prior agreement are included. In case of scenario 2.1, prior agreement without article level charges, this column will always be empty. In case of scenario 2.2, prior agreement with article level charges, everything is the same as in scenario 2.1, except this column, where now there may be values included. The third scenario is a public information only version of a P1 message. This is the stripped down version of a full P1 message. Information regarding a deal or article level financials are not included, nor are authors' email addresses. Why would you receive a P1 PIO message? There are 3 options. These are Publisher's Initiative, via AutoCC, via consortia routing. It could be that the publisher doesn't have the information on prior agreement and/or article level charges readily available or exportable in their systems, or that they haven't yet implemented it in their connection to the OA switchboard, or that it isn't relevant, for instance, in case of Diamond model. Therefore, the publisher is sending you a P1 message as public information only to start with. The second option for receiving a P1 PIO message is AutoCC. In this case, it starts with any type of P1 message, and the requirement is that the publisher has activated the AutoCC feature. The OS Switchboard AutoCC feature then sends the P1 PIO version of that P1 message to a second author's affiliation. In case of multiple affiliations for one author, the AutoCC feature sends a PIO version to the other affiliations of the author as well. The third reason for receiving a P1 PIO message is via consortia routing. This case occurs when the publisher sends a P1 no prior agreement message or P1 PIO to the institution of an author. OS Switchboard then also delivers a P1 PIO version of that message to the consortium that the institution belongs to. This consortia routing also works on top of AutoCC, so for the non-primary affiliation for the author and other authors than the first. This is how you can recognize a public information only message in the Excel export. It will say no in the PIO column.